Alright, here's my materials. Like I said, it is Rustoleum. It's got some paint dripping down the side, but you can tell it is Rustoleum. This is the professional. I don't really know what all that is, but it is oil-based. And this color is called Safety Red. It's written right up in here, but the paint's dripped down. But this color is called Safety Red. Of course, since it's oil-based, you got to use paint thinner and a mixing cup. I get these. I try and buy all this stuff at Walmart, actually. It is quite a bit cheaper. These mixing cups are the same as the ones at like Home Depot or Lowe's. They're 87 cents at Walmart, and they're about $1.50 each at Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever. And you're going to be using quite a few of these, so you save a few cents there. And so anyway, I mix at about a 1 to 5 ratio. So basically 5 parts paint, 1 part paint thinner. So I'll start, but I need to stir this up. This has been sitting a while, so I need to stir this paint, and then I'll show you how I mix it all together. Alright, so I spent a couple minutes here stirring up my paint. It's been sitting a while, so I stirred that up. Now I'm going to actually mix it together. And I like to start by putting the paint thinner in the cup first. With these big gallon jugs, it sloshes and you'll actually lose a lot. It'll drip down the side and onto your table, and you just save a few bucks. Save a little bit of your material. This way you can take this, put the cup right up to the nozzle, and I'm going to put about 4 ounces in. Right about there. I'll put a little bit more. And then I'm going to put in about, I'm going to have a total of about 20 ounces of thinner and paint. So I'll get the paint over here and we'll pour the paint in. Alright, so now I'm going to come in here and actually pour my paint into the cup. Like I said, I'm going to do about 20 ounces, maybe a little more, 22, something like that. And I really don't have a fancy way of doing this other than just pour the paint into the mixing cup. Go a little bit over. I'm going to do about 22, 23 ounces, something like that. And that's it. That's good to go. Then take the paint stick, stick it in there. Spend a lot of time mixing this up. You want it to be very, very homogeneous, and it does take a little while to get there, but just stir this up, and then we pour it into the paint gun. Alright, one note I wanted to make is when you're pouring your paint, let me get the gun out of the way. When you're pouring your paint from your mixing cup into your spray gun, you need to use these little strainers. Now for the primers, I just use the red oxide, the Rustoleum red oxide primer. You can use the gray. It doesn't really make a difference as long as it's all the same. It's all oil based. You got to keep your paint the same, so if you use lacquer primer, then you got to use lacquer paint, acrylic paint. You get the idea. But for the primers, you can use these little coarser mesh little filters, the 60 to 70 mesh. But for the actual paint, you need to use these finer mesh strainers. I had that problem. You know, I was just using these. You can see this box is a little bit older. It's kind of worn out, so I had to go buy these. But you do need to use these finer mesh when you're pouring your actual paint color into your spray gun. That's been a problem. I learned it the hard way. I had to wet sand the fenders afterwards because there was some crud, some like lint fibers or something in the paint. But when I went to these finer mesh strainers, it filtered that out, and the paint was nice and smooth. So use these for your color coat. You can use these for your primer. They're one-time use only. It's a 100 pack. You got tons of them. Just use them once and then throw them away. If you need to refill your gun, then just use a new one. So they're cheap and they're disposable, and they should be used that way.